I'm gonna find some way to make that an intro, but here we are. Everybody, welcome to BLERDKAST. This will be not another post MomoCon show, but we definitely gonna talk about MomoCon since we both went, and we both have definitely different experiences. Because I'm sure you follow a lot of the gaming track, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely follow like more of the gaming stuff. That's where I spent a lot of my time is like in the gaming room. I did
Right.
some other things too, but definitely gaming. I tend to kind of get stuck up in there. I would have stayed longer, but I did some special parking where I had to be out of there a little early. So
There was a lot of that. Like I was trying to stay Saturday, but we had to leave like at midnight because that's when the parking expired. I was like, oh, all right,
yeah,
well.
exactly the
So that was
same.
like the worst timing. I should have just did something else that night. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? And by the way, welcome to BLERDKAST. Thank you for finally coming on. I've known you for a long time, but go ahead and tell my audience who you are and tell them about your channel and what it is you do.
Oh, of course. So, it's your boy Roshad Lamar Gaming. You can see it right here in the background. So, I got a gaming channel on YouTube. I basically do like, the classic live streams and edited videos. So, haven't determined which one I like doing more. I think I like the edited videos. It feels like a big production for me.
Right.
All sorts of content on there. I'm kind of going back and forth with the type of content that I like doing and the type of content that get views. You gotta kind of find that good middle ground, right?
Yeah, you got to
Uh,
find a good middle ground.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm doing lots of stuff on there. It's been great. So I've been doing that for what, like, I don't know how long it's been. It's been like maybe a year, 2 years. I can't even remember at this point, but I'm gonna have to actually backtrace that. I feel like I'm gonna get that question, but I love doing it. So yeah, I've been doing that, and of course I do lots of other stuff in my personal life outside of YouTube. I'm just a huge gamer, and I really wanted to make that a bigger part of my life. I felt like there was some areas of my life that I was kind of unfulfilled in terms of things I actually wanted to do. I was chasing career stuff and follow like a safer path. And I really felt like I wanted to get back into gaming. I had a bunch of games from years and years ago. Like I'm talking PS2 day games that I had never even played, and PS4 was out. So I just wanted to kind of find a good reason to get back into it and also see if I could find a way to share that with other people and make a living off of it and so forth. So that's my quick little intro.
Gotcha. That's what's up. But how are you enjoying the content creator process of being a YouTuber?
Oh, okay. So this is an interesting one because I'm a little different from most people. I actually love doing editing and stuff. It
Okay.
just takes a long ass time.
Yes, it does. It does.
But I love doing YouTube videos where I can edit in as much stuff as possible. The only issue is how much content you can release. Being that I work full time, very demanding job too.
Right.
And I do other side hustles on the side for money.
Right.
So, and YouTube, my channel's not monetized yet, so I'm pretty much just doing all of this for free. And so there's only so much time I can put into editing something to perfection, right?
Right.
So trying to find that balance, like when I first started, it was really difficult because I didn't know how far to go. I would just keep editing and editing and editing, and I was a little slower at it too. So it just
Right.
made the problem that much worse. And I was disorganized. So if I had like 200 video clips, I would literally not they wouldn't be numbered or titled or nothing. So I would just be looking through each one, like, let me find this one thing to put right here in this one spot, and it would take me like an hour to find like one little thing just for like a few seconds worth of footage. It was crazy. So I've definitely improved like over that. Now I organize all my files, I give them titles, I give them numbers, like, everything's a whole different process now.
Man, you are preaching to the choir. I literally was just writing notes last night while I was at work. Like, I got to get better with this. Like, I got to stop scrubbing through every single thing. Just put titles on stuff. You know how to do this. Just do it. Just stop being lazy. Like, so you are
Exactly.
preaching to the choir right now, man.
Yeah, that was definitely like I used to do game reviews. I don't really do them anymore. I'm thinking about strongly thinking about doing some more because people really like them and I really like them too. Now I do like mostly gameplay videos, but I'm still thinking about going back and doing some reviews because it's I guess there's no reason for me not to do them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that could be a thing that's maybe unique to my channel. Maybe I do gameplay videos and game reviews and other stuff too, where it's usually one or the other. You're like a review channel or you're like a gameplay channel.
No, oh my God, trust me, I understand you. I've went from like reviewing content and things like that. Like every week I got to do the new WandaVision or something. I was like, nope, I'm sick of that. Sick
Yeah,
of that. I'd rather do something else and just trying to figure out. Then I'm like, hey, I'm blurredography. I need to do some of the ography part of this instead of the
right.
blurred part of this. So I'm like, all right, let me get my cosplay photography stuff in there and start doing more of those type of videos.
You want to
So
know something I noticed? You want to know something I noticed?
what's
You
up?
really ramped up during like this MomoCon period with all the cosplays and stuff. I noticed it seemed like your energy, the energy you put into it was amplified. I think it's because you like doing that more. You
Well,
know what I
okay.
mean?
So here's a huge secret for you. Probably already know this. In my personal life, I'm just somebody you probably don't want to know. But at a con, I'm the life of the party. It's just like I don't know what it is. Like every time I go to a con, I'm just like in my element. I'm around everybody who's into everything I want to be in. Everyone's dressed up in costumes. Like I've increased my photography skills, like just because I want to be a better cosplay photographer, not because I wanted to make money or anything, which is ads backwards when you ask me. But that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I want to go to a con and show out and stunt and make really nice pictures and just have fun. And like, you can ask my crew when I do have a crew of people, I'm a completely different animal when I'm in the con scene. And like this year, MomoCon, with the press pass and just like having the access and being able to do everything I wanted to do. Plus, I know how to edit stuff a little bit better. And I have a better idea of like what I want my channel to be, which is a whole other story, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm like, let me go capture everything. And I only got maybe 10% of it. But still, I got I got a lot of stuff.
You got a lot more stuff than I did. I tell you that. 'Cause I went for one day, and it was just for like a couple hours, but
Oh well,
I got a lot out of that.
I will tell you, as a con veteran, there's so many ways you can go and do your con and enjoy your con. I like to do it all out. I went into MomoCon, like, I've been to MomoCon before, and I'm like, okay, it's a college kid con. It's for anime, stuff like that. That was nice when I was in college 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
back
But
at Georgia
now,
Tech days.
right. And I'm like, nah, I don't know. Do I want to be around all them kids? And, I mean, like college kids and stuff like that. I'm
Hmm.
really more like, give me Dragon Con where it's a 24/7 party.
Yeah, where
Watch
it's
me
there's
stand
some
everywhere.
adult action going on.
Right. It's
It's about to get
always something
crazy.
going on. But no, this year MomoCon was like, no, this is a con you need to go get a hotel for. You need to save up for. It's like especially like with everything that's been going on, like the world ended, and now it's like, okay,
Yeah.
let's go back out. Let's like f everything. Let's go back out. Everybody came out in their Sunday's best. Everybody came out to spend money. Everybody came out just trying to. There was so many different events going on in Atlanta this week, last weekend.
That was crazy,
It
dude.
was crazy. The Carnival Festival, like I wish I saw more of that. I was doing interviews all day, Friday and Saturday, but like I wish I saw more of that.
I think there was a game like some sports. 'Cause I saw a bunch of folks dressed up. It looked like it was
Right,
probably soccer. You
right,
know, like it was just crazy, man. Like I drove down there because I usually don't like Uber and stuff like around Atlanta. I usually just drive
right,
because I used to go to school down there because I think we went to like DeVry first, and
right.
then I went to Georgia State later. So that's where I was. I'm familiar with that area, and I'm like I know all the places to like park and stuff. So so I parked like it was a solid like 20 minutes away from where like 20-minute walk
Right.
from the actual Congress Center because I just knew I was like, man, as soon as you get close, $50 easy,
Yeah.
and it don't even gotta be nothing else going on, they'll still raise it up to like $50.
Yeah. I saw one parking lot that they separated, and one side was $30, the other side was $50, just because it was a little bit closer.
Yeah.
So it was like ridiculous down there. But like, you know, we both from Georgia, we both from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I love this city. I love when this city shines, and like it shines on Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend with MomoCon and now Dragon Con. The perfect way to start in the summer in the South. Like, to be honest, like it's perfect.
Yeah, I
Really
tell
perfect.
you one thing, I didn't expect it to be, because I went to MomoCon. I went like, man, I feel like I'm aging myself, but that was so long ago. It was like at least 10 years ago or something.
Right.
Because it's 2022 now. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
over 10 years ago when I started
Yeah.
going. That's crazy. And it
Yeah.
was all at Georgia Tech. It was like just so much smaller, and like the community was smaller. It
Right.
was at Georgia Tech, and it was like a couple classrooms or something. You know, it was really nothing like too amazing. So, you know, when people kept talking about it more recently over the last couple of years, they're like, "Hey, you going to MomoCon?" I'm like, you know, maybe I go to something big like AWA or Dragon Con, right? I show up at MomoCon this year, you know, I'm thinking it's gonna be, you know, somewhere small. I go to, you know, I look and I see it's at the Congress, and I was like, wait a minute, what? Because I
Well,
hadn't been in years, you know.
it's been at the Congress Center for a minute now, for a long time since I remember, because I remember back when it was on the Georgia Tech campus, and I went there, like I think the last year when it was free to attend, I went,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went like maybe a couple of years later after it moved to Hall A in the Georgia World Congress Center, and like it was a complete difference, like just how much it had grown in that short of time. And
Yeah, which
like, you
is
know,
insane.
right. It was definitely insane. And then like with the pandemic and you know, the 2-year hiatus, because I started my channel, my first video was MomoCon canceled 2021, and
I
everything else
remember
was
that. I
not
saw that.
canceled. It was like I was so mad. Like, you don't understand. I was so mad. So I was really looking forward to it. Because everything at that point had been canceled, and MomoCon would have been the first official welcome back to society, everybody, con, but they canceled it, but had everything else, so it didn't make sense. So being able to go, like, such a huge experience, it was amazing. And like they moved it to Hall B this year. This was a statement year to say,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, yeah, MomoCon's always been one of the big three, big four cons in Atlanta. It's definitely the big two. It's Dragon Con, MomoCon, AWA coming up in third, and then now you got Ranger Stop coming up in fourth place.
Oh, I never heard of that one. Interesting.
We're gonna talk about that.
Is that like a Power Rangers thing?
Yes, it's like 1000% Power Rangers.
What? Let's go.
Hold on. Hold on. Where's my stuff at?
Where's my Green Ranger and White Ranger stuff?
So I don't know if you can see camera, but yeah.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
And I got my passes right here. So I met Karen Ashley at MomoCon.
Yeah. I wanted to peep that.
I got a third one. I can give it to you if you want.
What, is just a pass to go?
Yeah, it's a 3-day pass.
Oh, for sure. Cause yeah, I definitely would go. I definitely want to attend that. When is it going down?
It's literally next weekend.
Are you serious, dude?
I'm serious.
Oh, man.
It's next weekend. It's at the Sheraton Hotel.
Look, I'm down.
But yeah, you should definitely go. Like, I'm gonna try to go as much as I can. I'm gonna try to go as much as I can, but I'll probably have to miss out most of it. But it's definitely fun. I got to meet Karen Ashley. She gave me some passes, even said I can try to be press. She'll upgrade me to press because she missed a press conference that she signed up for. I don't know if you saw my last interview with Dana Morgan, the director of MomoCon, you know, media relations of MomoCon. She was like giving out so much like secret information of who all the celebrities that's going to be there, all the things they're going to plan. They've sold out of VIP tickets, so you can only get like the regular attendee tickets now. They have dinners with the stars of the show. Like, you'll sit down at a table and you'll have like one or two Power Rangers or like a YouTuber and like a Ninja Turtle from one of the shows or the movies just sitting there with you, or somebody. The original Shredder's going to be there.
Wow,
It's going to be big. Like
crazy.
Talking about cons that blew up over the pandemic, when they never had a con over the pandemic, Ranger Stop did. Because in 2019, when they first came, it was in the basement of the Sheridan, felt kind of rinky dinky a little bit, but like it was Power Rangers, and like, you know, Power Morphicon was like the only real con that was out, and you know, none of the stars were really doing the con scene, but now they are. So it was still cool to sit there and be in that close space. Like, I'm 5 feet away from everybody I grew up with, all the toys I grew up with. I'm 5 feet away from all of them, and that's what made that experience for me. But now, last year they moved to a bigger hotel. It was 3 levels, bigger dealer's room, more panels, more celebrities. It was like insane. And now this year they're even going to be bigger, and I can't wait to see it.
That's crazy.
That was a tangent, but like, you know, I love Power Rangers. Power Rangers is my thing, so like that's definitely going to be something I cannot miss. I'm a figure something out, move heaven and earth, and do what I got to do to get content from that con.
Yeah, definitely do that, because I'll be sure to check that out. And I definitely want to attend myself, because I mean, you know, it's one of those things where for the last couple of years, you know, I kind of checked out from the con scene, right? So I just hadn't been going. I think part of the reason is because, you know, I've been so focused on like YouTube and, you know, just other stuff in general. But I always definitely at least wanted to go to Dragon Con, because I feel like that was like, you know, the one that I went to and I had the most fun at, because it wasn't just like, you know, it wasn't just kind of like this, you know, big group of nerds getting together and talking about animes and stuff. You know, there was like also there was like more different types of entertainment shows, right? So, you know, you might get more stuff like HBO shows and stars and stuff like that. You know, you have like different types of parties and stuff. 'Cause, you know, I think MomoCon kind of grew its way into that, but DragonCon kind of had a lot of that stuff from the beginning. As soon as I started going, you know, there's people traveling from across the nation, you know, and you know, they're doing all this break dancing and all this stuff, and I'm like, yo, what the heck did I get myself into? This is crazy, right? So I really love that. But now I see that MomoCon, when I was leaving, it seemed like I was leaving at like the worst time, because all the crucial stuff was happening when I was on my way out of there.
You walk through the lobby con version of MomoCon, where they all out in the courtyard and just like partying and being lit.
Yeah, that's where I ran into literally right before I left. It was like the last person that I saw that was like in that same little area was Cloudy McDoom. Like literally, I'm thinking, 'cause I knew he was like around, but I'm thinking I'm probably just not gonna run into him. I literally just walking just right past him. He's just there, just chilling. You know, I was like, hey man, I recognize him immediately. You know, I'm like, hey man, I get a photo real quick. You know, so that kind of like brightened my day even more, because you know, I'm like, okay, I have fun. You know, I was kind of sad because I had to like leave a little early because of the parking situation. So when I seen him, I was like, you know what? If I didn't have to leave, I may have never ran into him. You know,
so Cloudy McDoom, I just want to give him a little special shout out, because I've seen like his pictures and like his cosplay. He was cosplaying as God, what is his name?
He did Kuwabara.
There you go, Kuwabara from
Yu Yu Hakusho.
His cosplay was so dope and on point. He was probably one of the like the person to try to find. He's in everybody's footage. I got footage of him. He did a very good job. Just want to give him a little special shout out. But like, it looked like he had the best con experience out of everybody. He was dancing, doing everything.
And a hella friendly dude on top of that. You know?
He's definitely very friendly. He unfortunately he didn't have my favorite cosplay of the con, just because of my fandoms and stuff like that. So it's a biased opinion. But like, if I had to fight for number one, it would be Cloudy McDoon and Six Rokage 6 for like my favorite cosplay. Six Rokage 6 was the Africanized Avatar Aang. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to put pictures up in the video, but like, you know, just because I'm a huge Avatar fan and a black nerd, I'm like, combining that right there was just so iconic. But like, seeing Cloudy McDoom and just him having fun, and like, I'm like, that's what this con is all about. That's so dope. He had some really sick cosplay. Another thing that I really like that I just want to point out, there were so many black women cosplaying. like
Oh yeah.
in cosplay, and first time cosplayers,
Yeah,
and like
times are changing. That's
right,
for
the
sure.
times are changing because like they not showing up with just geek shirts on or just showing up just being supportive. Nah, they
Yeah,
showing out.
yeah, dipping
Yeah,
their toe in, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Nah, they ain't dipping their toe and they just don't jumped in and like they brought
Head
their
first.
best. They got the hair done, the nails done, the shoes, everything was on point. Shout out to all the black women
Yeah.
cosplayers and female cosplayers of
Yes.
color.
Yes.
All
Shout
y'all
out.
did such an amazing job. Like I even was like, somebody should make a black woman geek con like in Atlanta and just be nothing but black women in cosplay, and it would be like the most
Ah.
amazing thing ever. Because like black women don't get a lot of credit for being in cosplay. Like when you look up cosplay, it's always Asian women and white women, and you know, like
Yeah,
black people
in general,
definitely
yeah.
need to like more than dip their toe in it. And like this was a showcase. If you wanted to see black people, especially black women in cosplay, MomoCon 2022 was a showcase of everything you wanted to see.
Man, if you look, if you want to see it, then look. I mean, look no further. Why don't you
Right.
go ahead and do it yourself, bro? Like you got the passion for it. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? Get them finances ready and go ahead and pop it off.
yeah, that's the hard part, getting the finances ready. I
Yes,
gotta go to
we know it.
cons and do all this stuff. Plus, I'm into photography and I'm trying to cosplay. I'm gonna just be broke forever.
Man,
Um,
just you gotta just keep building the network up, man. So,
I'm
you
definitely
know,
building up the network. I'm definitely talking to people. I do have cosplays in mind. I don't know if you see some of my other videos and just things like that, but like I talk about some of my characters I want to cosplay as, some of the characters I want to cosplay as, and I'm really gonna do it. I'm thinking about debuting something at Dragon Con, something easy. It's gonna be a cosmic cosplay, but there's nothing wrong with that. But it's something easy I can do. Like I want to do Bob from Tekken 7.
Bob, man, I'm gonna have to look him up. I know the name, but I just can't remember. I can't
You know the
recognize
big
him.
dude on Bob speed and weight, and like he's like one of the fast characters, despite him being big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You talking about the blonde hair dude? I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember him from because I think in Tag 2 is when I first seen him.
yeah, yeah. He's in that.
Yeah, yeah, he was a freaking monster, dude.
Yeah,
Oh my
he is a
god,
monster. He's also my main
with the
in that thing.
overall.
Yes, he was also my main, and I'm like, that's the easy cosplay. All I need is a
That's
Hawaiian shirt or
crazy.
some orange shirt and some overalls, a blonde wig, and some fighting gloves or something. And I'm Bob. That's all I need. See,
That's gonna be sick, dude. Look, I can't wait to see it. So I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm be like, hey, where the hell's Bob at if I don't see you in the costume?
Please hold me to it. Like, give me some accountability so I can do it, because like it's like I really do want to do it. So I just need to stop making excuses, right?
Yes, please definitely do that. Look, I see with me, I'm not gonna make no promises, so I ain't gonna be held accountable for shit.
I was about to ask you, like, if I'm finna come out here and cosplay, I need to see you out here
Like,
something.
so at Dragon Con, I normally do cosplay though. I just didn't want to do it at MomoCon because I already knew. Cause Dragon Con, I usually go for like 2 days, sometimes one day, but usually 2 days. And so I'm like, okay, I might as well dress up for that. You know, it's
Right.
the big con that I look forward to the most. And then you know, but you know, other cons not so much, especially MomoCon. I haven't been to MomoCon in a while, but things have clearly changed. But I do have a Squid Game costume, the you know the little pink dudes dressed in the crazy pink with the mask, the sliding mask and everything. Like
Okay.
yeah, I got all of that. I actually wore it for Halloween, so I'm thinking about wearing it again. I know they're reusing the same costume, right? But I never
Right.
wore it to Dragon Con, and I also have a He Who Remains
Oh, okay.
costume for for those who don't know from from the Marvel universe. He Who Remains, like Kang the Conqueror, became He Who Remains, like ruler over all timelines or whatever. So I got a costume for that, but that one is not quite as impressive and recognizable, obviously, as like the Squid Game one. So I'm still kind of debating
Well, it's
which one to
about to
wear.
be. It's definitely about to be. I don't know if you've seen Loki, but Jonathan Majors is
Yeah,
definitely
that's where I got the idea from.
right. So yeah, yeah, there's definitely gonna be a character that's gonna be cosplayed to death in a very respectful manner very soon. Much like Black Panther when the movie came out. Black Panther cosplay is like exploded like
all over the place.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, I had one too. So I had a Black Panther
and there's nothing wrong with
outfit.
that. And like recycling costumes, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I know plenty of people that just like that still keeps their first cosplays and just rotate whatever they want, or design their cosplays to be interchangeable so they can do that. So there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
yeah, one of my homies does that all the time. Like I'm a shit on him right now because he wear the same damn Spider-Man cosplay every damn year. So like he said he about to switch it up, but I need to see it. So I'm a shit on him right now. And I'm gonna call him out by name. My homie Gio, you need to go ahead tighten your stuff up, bro. Like every year it goes to multiple cons, wearing the same stuff every time, you know. So I'm like, look, if I'm gonna be going to that many, then I'm gonna be switching it up. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Right. I understand. Trust me, I understand.
I wish I had a freaking like either the Green Ranger or White Ranger outfit like for this Ranger Con coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no Power Rangers outfits because if you're trying to get the good ones, it's kind of expensive to get the good ones. But I'm about to go ahead and drop them coins because I'm ready.
But it's worth it. Like from what I hear from like all the other Ranger cosplayers, like the higher end stuff is worth it because it lasts longer. It's more comfortable just to wear. Especially like depending on like the outfit or the specific Ranger design that you have. What was it, Anki Cosplay? They make like really dope Ranger helmets and stuff like that. Which the helmet would be the most expensive part usually of a Ranger cosplay suit. Sometimes they range between $500 to $1,000, just depending on if they're custom.
Like now you see why I didn't buy them.
Right. So like, and to be honest, that's the reason why I don't just be a Power Ranger. It's not because I'm big, it's because like I want to do a good Power Ranger cosplay, and I know it can like my first one. I want to put some money into it, some detail, and make it my own, like because of the Boom Comics and like the expanded universe of Power Rangers and everything new that's coming out. You can do so many new variations of comics. Like I would love to be a red Sentinel Ranger or something like that, with like a Red Ranger with like some body armor or something, big blasters and weapons and swords and stuff. That would be so sick and dope. You know, you can call me weird, whatever. Since I was a kid, in my head, secretly, I've been a Power Ranger my entire life. So, like, I've even like in art school, I used to draw like, oh, if I was a Power Ranger and this and that, and or a Kamen Rider, this is how I would look. So I have like sketchbooks full of like my old drawings and stuff of like, this is what I'll be as a Ranger. So,
man, dude, that's. Like we grew up. I mean, we're about the same age. We grew up around the same time. I literally be walking around in public, randomly doing the whole like.
okay. So I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
Definitely not. I be like sometimes. You know, if I'm just daydreaming or something, I don't even realize what the heck I'm doing, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me stop. And people look like, what is this fool doing?
Right. Like I'll be at work just humming Power Rangers theme song or something, just in my mind, mindlessly doing whatever task I gotta do at work. Just like, okay, today this is what happened. A monster came and attacked the city, and I had to like, I'm at work and I had to drop my coffee, and I had to morph in front of everybody at work, and now they know I'm ready. Yeah, don't judge me.
The whole scenario planned out.
Right, exactly. Like, trust me, I work at a news station, so like, you hear breaking news, all this and that, and you're like, man, if I was a Power Ranger, all this would be different.
I got all kinds of I mean, I got Power Ranger stuff in here. I mean, I can't really show you, but one of my favorite, well, two of my most favorite things, it's like a picture where it's like the Green Ranger. I forget what you call it, where it's like it changes as you kind of move to the side and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, one of those like phase shifting picture things. Yeah, I like those.
It's like Green Ranger and White Ranger with their Megazords and everything in the background. And then there's another one where it's like Khaleesi. Like I see this at like every con. I even saw it at MomoCon where they still selling the same thing. Where they got Khaleesi and she's got the flute and the Dragon Zord in the background.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Like I love stuff like that. Like I have a little small Power Rangers collection, but I got this set Ranger Stop last year, this little plush pillow. It's green, so it's not gonna show up. But it's the Green Ranger.
I could kind of see it a little bit.
Yeah,
I caught a glimpse of it.
Yeah, and what else do I have? Like I have like signed autograph materials like shirts and hats and pictures and stuff like that. So like I'm building my like Ranger shrine and memorabilia and stuff like that. Like, come on, Power Rangers is probably like the coolest fandom to just be a part of. Like, come on.
Man,
Like,
I started, you know, something. I was trying not to become like this collector type, you know, one of those old men who just collected just a bunch of just random stuff. But over time, what I started doing is I started recording. I started kind of getting stuff that I could kind of showcase maybe in the background for the YouTube channel and stuff like that. And
right.
over time, I started feeling like, you know what, I really like this stuff.
Right. So
You
you might
know?
as well just keep collecting and just building your stuff up. Like, ain't no shame in it. Like, who care? We grown men. As long as you pay your rent, who cares what you spend your money on, right? Who cares?
Yeah, it was, and it was never like any like shame. I just didn't want to drop all my dang cash because I felt like it was gonna be an addiction, and I was right.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
It is an
It's an
addiction.
addiction. It's one of the healthier addictions, but it's an addiction
Yeah, if you
nonetheless.
got the money for
Right, if you got the
it.
money for it. But yeah, I used to have this like I had this one Right Ranger pop Funko Pop figure that I got for my birthday. And it still had like the 12.99 sticker on it. So I was like, I'm gonna just keep this. I'm gonna put it in the back of my closet for like a couple of years. Just be curious. A couple of years later, sold it for like $350 just because it went up in value. I didn't know they stopped producing it, so it was really rare. I was like, you know what, rent due. Let me go ahead and just let you go, because you
Hey,
served your purpose.
exactly.
So I have like a lot of stuff like that. I'm just keeping and just holding on to and things
You
like
remember
that.
the Andy meme from Toy Story? Be like, I don't need you anymore, and he just drops the toy.
I mean, I hate to give it up and stuff like that, but I'm like, I gotta live. Like, I can't be broke and homeless, and like, at least I got you.
It'll be like, man, I sure am hungry tonight.
Right. Yeah, I can't do that. So, sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta make some sacrifices, especially like growing up being a broke college kid, like in the South. Like sometimes you just gotta like, man, these swords and stuff are cool, but gotta
Yeah,
test.
that's one of the reasons I wasn't collecting at one point is because I didn't have the cash for it. To be honest,
Right.
I was paycheck to paycheck for a long time. Even when I started making more money, I was still pretty much paycheck to paycheck because they take more taxes,
Right.
and I lived in a more expensive place.
Right.
So it just ate up all the money, So I didn't really have money to be collecting. Even though I'm a gamer, I wouldn't even buy that many games. So like, look, I had it. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people think my life has just been like this amazing like
No, it's
sunshine.
not. No, it's not. Like there have been
Yeah,
some hard times where I had not
yeah,
a single ounce of geek material to keep me sane around me, and it's been some
exactly.
tough times. And
All I had was my old I had my old PlayStation, PS1, you know.
right, oh, man, trust me.
That was it. I had an old N64, and I only had like two games for it because that was what my pops had bought for me like back when I was a little kid, and I couldn't afford to buy none of my own. Of course, later on in life, I started just kind of collecting. A couple of like the my favorite games,
Right.
and then I started buying all these consoles, and now I got all kinds of. I got a Dreamcast visible on the floor right here. It's on the floor because I be like recording. I record. This is my recording spot, and there's
Right.
nowhere else. There's no shelf over here. So I got the PS5 is on the table, and the
Gotcha.
Dreamcast. Like if I had to pick one, I'm like, okay, Dreamcast go on the floor. But it's supposed to. It's not supposed to be an insult to the Dreamcast. It's supposed to be a good thing, and instead of it being in the closet, because that mug actually still works. All of my game consoles still work except for probably the PS1. It's probably the only one that doesn't work no more.
But you got the PS2 just in case you want to pop in the PS1 game. So
Yeah,
that's
I got two PS2s. Some they're back there. I know exactly where they're at. I was about to say somewhere, but I know exactly where everything's at. So, and then one of them doesn't work. The other one is like new. I don't remember where I got this from. I think somebody just gave it to me or something. But I was happy as hell because I still have like a million PS2 games. So,
gotcha.
I ain't giving it up. So look, look if I'm about to be homeless, then I guess I'm be homeless with my damn game console. I'm be one of them people in the damn shopping cart carrying around my game console. Like y'all gonna have to steal my stuff.
Like I'm not gonna lie, like I got a few stuff I'm never departing with. Like I have like I'm a big toy person. Like that's what I grew up with and was like a big part of me. So like my legacy Red Ranger morpher, keeping that, never getting rid of that.
Man, I wish I had one.
It's
Look,
very expensive.
don't have me over your place. You might get some shit took.
Oh no, trust me. I know where to keep the stuff that I want to look cool and I'll bring out, but like I'll go and lock it up. Trust me, it's safe. It's safe.
And I'm just messing with you. For anybody who doesn't know me, I joke around a lot, so I'm just kidding.
No, but I'm serious. I keep that morpher in my safety deposit box with my social security card and stuff. That's just how important that is to me. I'm not
Damn.
losing that. I'm
Yeah,
serious
look.
about it.
Yeah, look, there's some things you gotta hold close to the heart, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So trust me, I understand.
Right, definitely. So tell me a little bit more about your MomoCon experience. Since you're a gamer, I'm a I'm a casual gamer, I guess. I have certain fandoms, but like they had this huge area in the dealer's room that's dedicated to gaming, the VR experience, the arcade, and I walked past all of it just because I didn't have time to explore. So I'm very interested in knowing like what was your
Mhm.
experience like at MomoCon this year?
Yes, it was not long enough.
Right.
So I didn't have an idea that all of that stuff was gonna be at MomoCon. I actually was talking to people about maybe going, maybe not. And if I would have known that they would have had as much as they did, then I would have prepared more time and I would have went earlier in the day, right? But
Right.
I actually didn't get there. I basically went on Saturday,
Mhm.
and I went
Best
Saturday.
day to go, by the way.
Yeah, but yeah, if you go earlier than I did,
Oh
but
yeah, you gotta go a lot earlier, but you gotta be up there the entire day, morning, noon, and night.
Exactly. So, and it looked like it was about to pop off at night too. But I went and I showed up at about 6 o'clock. So it was pretty dang late. And then I left at around like 11. So I was only there for like 5 hours.
Right.
And when I showed up, like that's literally the first place I was targeting. It was like the gamers room, but I knew that I wanted to see other stuff. I was like, let me just stop by, see what it's like, and
Mhm.
then I'll know what to come back to later. That's kind of how I planned it out. So
Right.
I go to the gaming room, and they're doing all these tournaments and live streams for, I believe there was like Tekken, Guilty Gear, Smash Ultimate, and that's my bread and butter. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to do a lot of competitive gaming. So I was never like one of the like top players or anything crazy like that, which most people probably know if they haven't heard of me. But I did used to be like really good, like tournament level and viable in most games that I played.
I
So
remember.
yeah, that's right. So, but I'm really into stuff like that. So if I'm not careful, I can find myself just going and just watching or playing, because they had a lot of stations all over the place to play pretty much everything imaginable.
I did.
They had like freaking old school X-Men, like a 6-player X-Men arcade game. It was crazy. Like all kinds of people doing DDR and different types of dance games that are similar to Dance Dance Revolution, and
Mhm.
you know freaking pinball machines, like the specialty pinball machines. Like apparently that's still a thing. It was all sorts of stuff, and I just kind of hung out there for a little bit. Found out the dealer's room was closing at 7, and I was like, oh crap. That was like one of the main reasons I wanted to go, so I could like buy some stuff.
Right.
So I rushed over there. It was like 6:45 when I got in there.
And you
So
gotta fight the crowd of people going the opposite direction because like they had everybody leaving that area going through the game
e-
in the area to leave. And I'm like, that's a
exactly.
poor design decision.
It sucked because there was a lot of stuff I didn't even have a chance to even see the entire area, and I was rushing.
Right.
I was moving. I was like, I was moving, and it just wasn't enough time to see everything. But I did buy some stuff. I got some more hats I could showcase on the channel. Not this one. I've been had this one, but
Okay.
I bought. I don't have it to show. But I mean I have some stuff over here, but it's not the new stuff that I bought. But yeah, I basically just bought some hats and probably a couple other things. I can't remember exactly what I bought, but I just went to the dealer's room and just was peeping lots of amazing stuff. So hopefully, if if I end up going to like Ranger Con or Dragon Con, it's gonna be like a lot of the same people selling the same type of stuff anyway, so I get to see that. Yeah, then I met up with some friends, and we went to like a couple different events. Like there was a is this anime good or bad? And they was talking about Demon Slayer, One Piece trash, excuse me, and you know
This-
uh like they covered lots of stuff, and how the main characters in a lot of these shonen animes are real, they're real crybabies and all this stuff. And it was just fun. It's like a debate. You had actual debates where people had differences of opinions and valid points too, for even if something was real popular, they would really really break it down and crap on it. Some people were good at it, some people was not,
Right.
but it was a lot of fun. I went to, I think probably the most fun thing, it was Dragon Ball, because I wasn't there for long, but the Dragon Ball, it was like the World Martial Arts Tournament. So I had never been to this event before. Apparently, this is a thing that happens, I guess, like every year. But for anyone who's seen Dragon Ball Z, it's like in the Majin Buu saga, or like the Babidi part of that, like the real early part where they're like punching a little machine, and there's something like that. So like I guess anybody who wants to participate, there's a cutoff, but anybody who wants to participate, you go and you punch this machine, and it like detects like how strong your punch was. So they do that. And then next round, it's like I think you got to do like Ginyu Force poses. You got to do like all of the poses, like all of the, and and you got to lift your knee up and everything. It was lit. I was like, man, this is freaking awesome. You got to like power up, do your loudest scream, right? And then at the end, I think you just had to keep pummeling the crap out of like the same punching, the same like little thing from the first round, except this time you had to pummel it as long as possible. People's up in there hollering. My boy, dude dressed up as Goku Black cosplay, ended up winning the whole joint, and I had a Goku Black shirt on, had Goku Black shoes on. It was perfection, and I got a picture with him too. So I was happy as hell when my boy Goku Black. Goku Black's one of my favorite characters on my background to my computer, my phone.
Gotcha.
So, but that just so happened to be what happened that day. And then after that, I pretty much went to I think there was a couple other things I participated in. There was like karaoke. There was like karaoke, like apparently like all freaking like night or something. Because
Yeah,
there
it
was
was
a
very
bunch of
popular.
yeah, there was a bunch of different karaoke places. From one room to the next. I was like, dang. And in all fairness, it is fun. So
Right.
I didn't sing, but I enjoy watching other people. But then I went back to the gamer room. All the tournaments were over, so I was a little disappointed. I was looking forward to some of that all night stuff, like final round type of stuff that
Right,
takes
right,
place in
right.
Atlanta.
Gotcha.
Like, they be going for a while, not all night, but they be going for a while sometimes, trying to finish up some of the brackets and stuff, some of the pools and stuff. But
Mm.
all of that was done, but there was still people around playing, and I played a couple of games here and there, but most of like the setups where people were like really going ham and stuff like Street Fighter, they had all pretty much left. So at that point I was like, all right, well, it's getting late, I might as well head out. That's when I was, walking through like the main like little courtyard areas. People, well, before that, I saw there was like there was an area where people, it was like, I don't know if it was like a rave or something, where they was carrying like lights, and it was dark up in there, and people just jumping, and the music was loud.
I heard it was a lot of impromptu raves because they didn't have the traditional MomoCon rave or something like that. So it was a lot of impromptu just partying going on that night.
Yeah, well, this one was in one of the rooms, and it had a big line to get into it before, but
Oh, okay.
they apparently they weren't to capacity, so they looked like they were to me, but because there was people like practically like couldn't fit in the room, and
Right.
they looked like they were turning up in there, but it was time for me to go, and I don't really be turning up like that anymore anyway, but we'll see what happens at Dragon Con. But that aside, I was on my way out, and in the courtyard, it was like all these different groups of people, all in cosplay, just out there, just having a good time, dancing. It's like, people like different ages and creeds,
Yes.
which I love to see just everybody basically in kumbaya land. That's what I like to see. And I took a couple videos. I was just so intrigued, but everybody was having so much fun. I just want to be a part of it, but I don't dance as much as I used to, so I'm a little rusty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I didn't jump in like I would have at some of the Dragon Cons in the past. Then on my like literally the last person I seen before I was out of there was Cloudy, a Cloudy McDoom. So I went ahead, snapped a photo, then I was out, but I had a lot of fun, met up with some friends, participated in some of the panels, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of events that I missed. So this this experience actually strongly encouraged me to go next year. You know what I
That's
mean?
good. That's
Like,
really good.
yeah, I'm a gather up some people. Maybe me and you'll link up and some other folks, and we're gonna have a big ass group of people. you know.
Definitely, I do recommend that. I definitely recommend that because, like, I went all 4 days, and like Thursday before I met up with some of my friends, I was just kind of, walking the con by myself, and you know, that's a different experience than going with a group of people. I prefer to go with a group of people, especially people who you know and who you can get to know better, who you can just geek out with, because that's gonna make your experience better. They're gonna be able to see things that you miss because there's just so much going on at the con, and y'all can team up, get a room together. I definitely recommend getting a room for like MomoCon and Dragon Con, and just like make a thing of it. And like that's what I do every year. Dragon Con's like my year vacation thing that I go on, and I just do it up, get a room, Airbnb, we get some drinks for like, when the nighttime come, but like in the daytime, like, all right, let me get my cosplay photography on, let me go get some content, let me go just enjoy myself, whatever I decide to do.
Right.
So I definitely recommend that, and I'm definitely down next year. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Fuck it. Let's just do it.
Yeah,
Next year,
man,
get a room and we just do it up.
for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and buy my tickets early, so I'm ready. It's basically just like you
Actually,
know.
I have a tip for you. But I'm gonna leave that for when we're done with this record. I'm not gonna
Oh,
get that
okay,
out
all
in
right.
public.
Let me know.
I'm gonna put you on some game and help you out, content creator to content creator, because like there's something you can do for that.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm definitely curious. So yeah, we gonna talk about it, bro.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you this: do you consider yourself more of a black nerd, or you're like a gamer? Because gaming has splintered from just geek culture and became its own monster by itself.
A black nerd. I mean, well, okay. Technically, I'm literally part of a group that calls themselves Blurred Next Door. So and I'm proudly part of that group. I just kind of rolled with it. It's not something that I have like strong connections to like the whole blurred type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like for the most part, I'm just out here just trying to live my life. So
Right,
if gaming is something that I can do and it's gonna be something that I enjoy or it enhances my life in any way, even if it's just a healthy distraction,
right,
then I'm with it. Like a friend of mine, well, he's also in Blurred Next Door, B&D for short. He mentioned like or I think we caught him playing Street Fighter. He's on our Discord and he's plays Street Fighter all the time, Street Fighter 5, and I used to play Street Fighter 5 all the time.
hmm
So, one day I was just like, hey man, I just want to play you, and it kind of reinvigorated my fighting game spirit. I'm like, sometimes I hate it. I'm like, man, why do I love fighting games so much?
right,
It's a huge time sink. But so it's mainly me is just a gamer, and anything else outside of that is just an extension or a complement to that. I'm just a gamer and it is what it is. That's why my channel is mostly gaming. Ain't hardly nothing else on there. There's lots of things about life that I enjoy. You got travel, you got the politics and debating about that, science
right.
and philosophy and I mean, whatever the heck you want to talk about, movies and all these other areas of entertainment, which I'm a big fan of pretty much all things entertainment, but
Right.
gaming is number one. Point
Gotcha.
blank, period.
So what is it about gaming and being a gamer and just playing a game that that you like so much?
So that's a good question. I'm not even sure if it's gonna be easy to answer. I mean, the fighting game thing is really easy to answer because I used to play with my brother, and I used to love, like, we used to kind of play mind games with each other, like, oh, he thinks I'm gonna do this, but this is what I'm gonna do. But no,
Right.
he predicted it, and then I knew that he predicted that, and then I still beat him. Like that's really the whole fighting game thing. Just in terms of gaming in general, I think maybe it's just, part of the times and how I grew up, right? So,
Right.
I think my family from New Orleans, that's where I was born in New Orleans, raised here in Atlanta. My family had in New Orleans had an old, NES, Nintendo, and I used to play Super Mario Brothers all the time. I used to love when I used to travel there because I could play Super Mario Brothers. I never had a NES myself.
Mm.
And then my brother, he got a Sega Genesis one Christmas sent through the mail from my grandmother from New Orleans. Shout out to Grandma Joyce. So she sent that through the mail, came with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I remember I was the first one to beat that game. I used to be like the worst person at it in my family, ended up being the first one to beat the game. And I think I just kind of developed a love for just how to spend my time. Like I got asthma, so I wasn't really out here trying to be playing sports and running around as much as, like, a person without asthma. So I was like, well, let me just play some games. I didn't gravitate as much toward, like, like drawing and animation and stuff like that. I just gravitated toward the games. Games are made to be fun.
Right.
So if it's fun, I was like, I'll play it. There's some games that I think are boring as crap, and I'm not gonna play. You ain't gonna see none of that on the channel ever. And I'm not
Okay.
gonna play in my spare time. So it's just something that I just enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, hell, after this is over, I'm gonna probably go, like, work out, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna either play a game just casually for fun, or I'm gonna record myself playing something. So, and it's something that I enjoy. That's why I like doing the channel. That's why I don't get tired and fatigued. Like, oh man, I don't feel like recording today. Like, I may have those days, if I'm like really, really, really tired or
Right.
something, or if something's bothering me or something like that. But for the most part, I'll literally wake up at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And if there's something that I want to play or record, then I'll just do it right then and there. So I just love gaming, like it's something I grew up with, and something that I tried to get away from and did for a great many years to build my career out. But I just found myself coming right on back to it.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So I got a hold on. I got a very interesting question to ask you because I know you have a very interesting one. What does your gaming setup look like? Can you describe it to the
My
audience?
setup.
Yes, I know
So,
you got a dope setup.
so I'm gonna actually do a video on that, but I can still describe it though.
Okay.
So, all right. So I have a PS5 right here. I got like a gaming table, a gaming, like, it's like a L-shaped desk. So I got PS5 right here, a microphone, a Stream Deck. It's Elgato Stream Deck. For those who don't know, you can look that up. Basically has the buttons on it. You can press it, makes noises and all this goofy stuff that you might see in live streams. And you can, record, start your stream, end your stream, etc. Which almost got me in trouble a couple times. So apparently you don't have to have your browser open for whatever you're connected to start live streaming. I did not know
Mm.
that.
Mm.
So there's been a couple times I started a stream, and sometimes I knew that I did, other times I didn't. So I was like, uh-oh, glad my camera's always covered when I'm not using it. So
Right.
so I so I got two monitors. I got an Elgato ring light. That's all that brightness that y'all are seeing. That's from this Elgato ring light. This is actually on one of the lowest settings. Okay, this thing is all powerful. It's like a freaking Jesus light.
Right.
I have a Canon EOS M50. That's what I used to record most of my gameplay videos on. I have two webcams, two. One's a Logitech Brio. The other one is an old camera. I believe it's also Logitech. I've had that because I started a channel like literally like 10 years ago or something. It's called Boss Rush TV. I used to just beat bosses on it, and I never even used the webcam. I never showed my face in it, but I did. I
Gotcha.
got the webcam, and I've been using both of them. The Logitech Brios, the newer ones, I use that most of the time when I do live streams instead of the EOS M50. So that one is it's kind of crapping out on me, so I ain't too happy with it right now. But that's a whole nother story. And then of course I got my custom PC. You know, I built it myself, so this is my second PC. My old one is still functional and it still works. It probably still works for a majority of stuff exists today, but this new one is gonna easily work. I don't have no problem. All my homies having all these issues. I don't got these issues. My
Gotcha.
stuff always be working. So I got all the latest and greatest stuff up in there. So and I got a Nintendo Switch over here. Dreamcast, anything that's over here is because I be, recording on it. So
Right.
Switch, Dreamcast, and what else? And I got a bunch. It's controllers everywhere, and all kinds of like extra stuff. I got a bunch of hats because like when I record videos, I don't want to, I put different hats on for my recordings. I got a bunch of hats everywhere, so I just take one, take another one, put it on. So I got that's all kinds of stuff. That's the main. That's like the main stuff. It's like some other like little features and stuff, but that's like the main stuff that I have. I also got a long HDMI cable. It's like 20 feet because I got a big screen, and whenever I want to play stuff and I'm not recording, I don't want to have to keep moving all my consoles and stuff like
Right.
that. So I got a big long HDMI cable all the way to the big screen. So I go to it's a sectional back there. I go to the sectional. I'll be lounging out and chilling, playing games, playing Elden Ring, 175 hours in Elden Ring. Look, I was tired after playing that, but yeah, so it's a great little setup, and it's gonna improve because I'm actually gonna be moving into a house. So I haven't found it or purchased it yet, but I've already been doing planning, like financial planning and stuff. So I'm moving to a house, and it's gonna have a whole studio. I'm gonna be in the basement. Gonna have a whole
That's what's up.
studio, like that. That's the plan. Some green screen action. I may
That's
even
what's
do
up.
some more little skits and stuff like I used to do back in the day. Like check out the channel. There's skits on there if you just like you're not as interested in the game and you want to see something else. Like there's plenty of stuff that I done dabbled into with enough demand. Who knows? So
Right.
we'll see. But
Gotcha.
yeah, it's a good little setup. It's gonna be changing. It's gonna be expanding for sure. Cause I got some new monitors, but they actually do not fit over here currently. So I'm gonna have to get I need more room to fit those.
And you about to get it. You about to get it. Congratulations. You're gonna get the house very soon. I know it because you're a hardworking man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'm trying. So yeah, I just had to get my credit situation exactly where I wanted it with this real estate market these days.
Right.
I had to
Yeah,
make
it's
sure it
gotta be
was
on point.
perfect.
You definitely
Yeah,
gotta make sure you
I'm
be
I'm
on point.
I'm one little thing away, waiting for one thing to update, and then I can start applying for mortgage loans and all this other stuff. So
Gotcha.
I'm about ready. I'm about ready for that next move. I ain't getting no younger, so I figured it's time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So we're getting towards the end of the show, but I just got a one or two more questions for you for
Fire away.
just to get to so my audience can get to know you and just understand why you game. What are your top favorite video game? Your three top favorite video games of all time,
Three, huh?
and the system to play them on.
Okay, so now this is gonna be a tougher question because I know what my number one is, but my top three, I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. I'm gonna tell you my number one, and I'm gonna see if I can figure the other two out along the way. So my number one,
Okay.
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on the N64. I still have that game. I didn't grow up with Zelda at all. So when people talk about its nostalgia and all this stuff, they don't be knowing what the hell they talking about, man.
Mm.
I saw it on the videotape. If you remember the Banjo Kazooie, they sent that tape to like everybody, like
Yeah.
the little blockbuster tape. And on there, they talked about Banjo Kazooie, but at the end of the tape, they was like, well, check out these other games. and on it they had Legend of Zelda, and I was like, what is this? I never heard of this. I rented that mug from Blockbuster, man. I fell in love with everything about Legend of Zelda. That is the greatest game ever, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I think I got my other two. Super Smash Brothers Melee. So obviously, that's an obvious one, right? So,
I
you
was
know,
waiting for you to bring it up. I was like, if that wasn't number one, it got to be two or three. Like,
yeah. So, yeah, the thing about that is I try to be as objective as possible with the entirety of the game instead of just my personal experience with it. Because I played the heck out of that game in tournaments and stuff, and just playing. I play casually and in tournaments, and I'll be willing to do it anytime with any friends or at tournaments or whatever. So it's definitely one of my favorite games, and I've had, I think the hours on the GameCube is like literally is like 9999. It's like as high as it can possibly go. And the same thing for all my friends. And that's definitely one of my favorite games. A lot of characters, crazy stages, crazy items. The first time I played that game, first time I got the game, I bought the GameCube myself. I was still in high school.
mm,
And I don't even know how the hell I even afforded it because I don't even remember. I don't think I had a job at the time. So where I got this money, people didn't give me money. They did not. So everybody was like, "Oh, they're giving. Oh, you must have got the money from some." I don't know where I got the money from. Honestly, I pulled the rabbit out of a hat. I don't know, but yeah, I bought the GameCube myself. I bought the memory card. I bought the controllers, and I bought the game. I did all
mm.
of that, and I bought Soul Calibur too. so, so me, because my brother, he didn't care about Smash Bros. So I bought Soul Calibur too, so we could play, and we used to play that nonstop, and it had Link in it too.
Right.
So shout out to the homie Link. But anyways, number three, shoot, I just had it. This is actually a fairly recent development.
Okay.
Is Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay. Why is that?
Controversial,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Why is that?
Because some people, well, I don't know anybody who doesn't like it, but a lot of people, they're real critical. It's because Final Fantasy is one of my favorite game series.
Okay.
If it wasn't for that, it would probably be like Final Fantasy X because I really love that game, like pretty much everything about it. And Final Fantasy VII was always like real close. Like to me, those are like the best Final Fantasy games. But Final Fantasy VII Remake just took the original Final Fantasy VII and they just amplified it up to like a level that to me was like unimaginable. Now, by the time they release all the different DLCs and the 5, 6, 7 parts is going to require to finish the story,
Right.
then it's probably going to end up being like it's really a lot of people don't buy this, but I'm speaking from a business perspective. It's going to be a series in of itself rather than we're going to remake the entire game. And if you didn't know, it's like a sliver. Final Fantasy VII remakes a sliver of the original Final Fantasy VII. It's like the first 5 hours, and they like expanded that into like one full like between 40 to 60 hour game, depending on if you do all the side quests. So,
Right.
But just this one experience alone, it was incredible. I played it. I took off work to play it on release. Played it all day, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only thing I got to do, I took showers. 'Cause I obsess about showering before bed, and
Mhm.
then I ate food, but I didn't talk to nobody on the phone. I didn't go work out. I didn't like leave the house. I don't think. I don't think I left the house at all. I was inside for like 3 days. So it was just that incredible of experience. I was hooked from start to finish. I got the music on my phone. I'd be listening to it all the time. Like everything about the game to me was great. Only thing that I know other people didn't like is the way that they didn't cram it all into one big, incredible game like all the stuff in the original game. Instead, they expanded it out and stuff like that. But for me, the way that they did it, I haven't heard, I've rarely heard people make solid arguments about them expanding it and making it worse by the way they expanded it. The game
Mm.
was freaking lit, dog.
Mm.
Like it was lit. They did everything right. The gameplay is good. The characters development is way better than in the original. Graphics are incredible, even though they did mess up on one part, but they fixed it on the PS5 version. So it's like, I mean, you put together all the things that make games good. It had mini games in it that were good and fun and not stupid. Like they did what they were supposed to with it. It was live action combat and not the turn based. That's one criticism I heard. Like, it needs to be turn based. I'm like, man, shut your bitch ass up, man. That's just, oh, you still got, I
Yeah.
got the original Final Fantasy VII on PS4. I got I have the actual PS1 version too, but I got it downloaded on PS4. You can still play the old one, man. The remake is something different. It's new. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, remakes supposed to be new, right? They're supposed to be new. They're meant to be new.
Exactly. So yeah, I would probably put those in my top three. Now there may be days where it might change, but definitely the number one that's not changing. Zelda Ocarina of Time. That game low key might have like solidified me into being like a gamer for life. Like that game like I felt sad when the game was over. I literally, it took me a long time to I was pretty young. I was like 11 or something. And it was like a lot of puzzles and a lot of stuff to figure out, a big open world, just a lot of stuff to do. And when I finished the game, I felt sad. Like, now what do I do? Like, I was so enveloped in that game world. I was like, man, it's over. And they even play a music, kind of like a melancholy type of mixed emotion type of music when you beat it. It's like it plays like a you finally did it type of music. And I was like, oh man, I feel good, but I feel kind of sad. It's over.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, those are my top three: Zelda Ocarina of Time, Smash Bros. Melee for Zelda Ocarina of Time for N64, Smash Bros. Melee for Nintendo GameCube, Final Fantasy VII Remake for PS4 and PS5.
Gotcha. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna just say something. I remember those Melee days back in the grind. Y'all are why I'm not a bigger gamer now, because I got tired of getting my ass whooped. I'm sorry. Got tired of getting my ass whooped. Like, oh my god, all y'all just ruined that game for me. It's my most favorite game of all. One of my most favorite games of all time, and my most favorite game of all time.
We had to do it, bro. We had to. I'm sorry. Look, it's a rite of passage, man.
I failed. Like, I went up until that point. I thought I'm a hardcore gamer. I'm this, I'm that. Nope. Y'all still up playing video games? Oh, all right. Still the Smash tournament? All right. I'm going to bed.
The crazy thing is I'm actually way better at that game now than I was then too.
I would only imagine. And
I don't even play it anymore, but I'm still pretty confident. Like, ain't no random just running up. Like, not even close. It's because me and some of my buddies, we used to play like at least once a week. Like, at one point, we used to play like several times a week, but we used to play like when we started getting older, we played like once a week, probably right until COVID. When COVID started, we stopped playing, and we never got back to it. So but I guarantee you that we could probably get that rust off in like a day, guaranteed.
I'm pretty sure you could. Why don't you just give me a little snippet of your tournament days back then? What was that like for you, that experience of going to tournaments and ranking up and being like, because you ranked like statewide, didn't you, at a couple times?
At one point I did. I'm trying to remember, because I played for a long time, so I'm not gonna remember everything, but I can tell you that there was like different eras. Like, there's a Smash Bros. Documentary. For anybody who hasn't seen it, if you just type in Smash Bros. Documentary on YouTube, you'll find it. So I'm not in it or anything, because I was never like one of the tippy top players like in a nation or in the world or anything, but I was ranked in the state back in the day. So in the Smash Bros. Documentary, you can see like there's people like Asin, Chillin, Isaiah. I played all of them back in the day. And at the time, they were like considered monsters, brutal, evil, like they were horrible. Like, they was back in the days of MLG. For anybody who remembers Major League Gaming, now MLG I think has come back now, But at one point it like had this big boom. It started dying off, and all the competitors started rising up, and then MLG like came back or something. I don't know if somebody bought them, or I think that's what happened actually. Somebody like bought them and then reinvigorated esports and started doing all this Twitch live streaming and stuff like that. So I was playing like pretty much before. I don't think they even had live streams back then. I went to MLG's, got my ass whooped. I beat a bunch of kids and local players, but like once you got to like definitely anybody like that, the Ken, the Asin, and you got to that level, it was over,
Yeah.
right? At local tournaments, I could definitely hold my own. I used to play pretty high, like top 5, 4, and stuff like that. You get to the top 3, it obviously would start getting a little harder. So, the folks out there, if they see this, they know who they are because they're still good competitors. I did eventually, like, I'm pretty sure anybody who I had struggled with back in the day, I did eventually beat them in tournament. But then there was like new people who started coming along, and over time, like it just started going downhill, and I stopped playing as much, and they obviously played more. So yeah, there's the level, the skill ceiling for the game, as far as I know, has freaking never been reached. It's always people who've gotten better and discovered new things about the game and new ways to be more competitive, and cheap tactics just kept increasing, and it really evolved. The meta, that's what people call it. The meta kept evolving. It might have finally tapped out now because there's not quite as many people who play it right now.
Right.
But I played it for years. There was Gamers Experience. That was a place I used to play.
Yeah, Gamers Experience. Shout out to Gamers Experience. A lot of fun memories.
Yeah, the homies, black owned and everything.
Yeah, definitely Black Thumb, Tony, all y'all down there. They're still open, right? Yeah,
they are. Yeah. Now, okay, I don't know after the whole COVID thing, but probably
Right.
still are open because I know right before that, I think they were still doing events and stuff, and I was still getting like invites and stuff. So I would find it surprising if they weren't still a thing. So but yeah, I used to go there, and yeah, there used to be like little local tournaments. I used to play there all the time, and I used to go with some of my friends. They all get washed pretty fast, and I used to be like the last one remaining, and eventually I get washed and be like, all right, time to go.
Right.
So yeah, but I still enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. I never had any regrets about I never really wanted to be like the best player. I feel like where I wanted to be is kind of where I went. Like I wanted to be just really good and have a lot of fun doing it, and that's exactly what I did. Um, Over time though, that competitive energy, it holds you back from doing other things. It's been you really got to dedicate yourself.
Yeah,
And
it's a dedication. I've had to talk to some of my friends like, bro, this is more to life than Melee right now. Come on, like you fail in college, something's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And I did all of that. I already completed college and stuff, and that's one of the things I had to make sure to be able to support myself. I was not going back home ever.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so I had to make sure to be able to support myself and try to get my career on track. So I always would take it to like a certain level, but I would never take it like really, really far. And I did go like out of state like a few times, but rarely, right? So I wasn't traveling the country looking for the strongest opponents and stuff like that. I wasn't gonna do all of that, but what I did do, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I could still get back into it. Like there's a tournament coming up. Hell, I wish I remember what it was called. Tipped Off. So the homie Laron Bell, I think he's got the tournament rights now. It used to be hosted by Michael. I know all of them. So we've all played so like for years. So but yeah, there's another that tournament I think is this month. So I got to check and see when the dates are. I don't know. I think because I don't know when RangerCon is compared to this. So I got to check the dates. But yeah, like I'm probably going to that, honestly, to that tournament, even though I haven't been playing or practicing. I probably just go and have a little fun.
Right.
And eventually, I'm gonna run into some people who are just like impossible to beat, and I'm gonna play them for probably like 5 hours straight, and I'll be like, wow, I'm tired, time to go home,
Right.
because that game can be exhausting. You feel
Yeah, it
like you're
is.
totally worn out after you've been playing for a couple hours, especially if you're playing hard. Like, yeah, it's gonna be tiring, but yeah, I love the tournament experience. There's always gonna be a part of me that wants to be like kind of a competitive gamer and be pretty good at games, because to me it's just really exhilarating. It gets my freaking the heart pounding, like you have a close match and you're down in like that last hit, that last grab, like something about it. It's like a drug. It's like an addiction.
Mhm.
And I think as long as you ain't got no heart conditions, I think it's healthy. So
Yeah, I think
uh,
gaming's healthy. I definitely think gaming's healthy. It can get unhealthy at times. I've seen it.
yeah.
Trust me, I've seen it. I've roomed with some of y'all in college, and I was okay.
Yeah. That's the thing I learned from watching. I'm not gonna name no names, but just from watching folks like not bathe and stuff, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah,
So I always made sure that no matter what was going on, including when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, I'm like, nah, I gotta bathe myself, gotta stay clean. Can't just be playing all night, because I was playing all night, but I was like, can't be playing all night and then get so tired I just fall asleep. And nah, you gotta stay clean, stay fresh, stay
right.
up on deodorant, folks. I got like a whole freaking, I got all kinds of it's extra deodorant in the bathroom, in the car, in case you forgets. Like, trust, see your boy, stay ready, okay?
Yeah, that's I will say I think geek culture as a whole has gotten better about hygiene. Because I've gone to cons and gone to game tournaments and been around some of my friends. I'm like, nope. My mama taught me how to wash my ass. Let me go
Yeah,
back to you. I'm
you
gonna
get,
go.
it's like you get attack of the must, like you're
Right.
like,
Yeah, like somebody chopping onions. We in a
ah!
game tournament. Like, what is happening?
Bro, it was just like that at MomoCon. It was, some people was musty, man. Like, I was like, come on, this is still a thing, man.
Yeah, I
Come
felt that
on.
guy. I did come across a couple of people, but I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna say anything. I was that guy years ago that was tossing out the little travel size of deodorants to people, but you can't do that no more. So you just gotta like,
Everybody's offended by everything.
right, the world we live in. I don't.
A bunch of
But
pussies.
but hey, people are people. You just gotta do you and just do the best you.
Yeah, put your face mask on. You ain't gotta smell it as much.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's another issue too. But anyway, tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, of course. So, yeah, you can find me the main place you need to go. You need to go there today, as a matter of fact. Roshad Lamar Gaming. See that right there? Roshad Lamar Gaming. Check that out on YouTube. If you search for Roshad Lamar Gaming, that'll come up. YouTube.com/Roshad Lamar will come right up. You can check me out. It's RO. I know a lot of people spell Rashad with RA, but this is RO. My mama was unique. Mama's smart. Like, telling you, like, and then you can also follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Roshad Lamar. You can find me there. Also have a Facebook page. It should be facebook.com/Roshad Lamar. I'm pretty sure. I post stuff on all of the, obviously on YouTube, but I also post on Facebook and Twitter pretty regularly. I think Twitter a little bit more often because it's kind of made for that. So
Right.
definitely be sure to give me a follow, and subscribe on YouTube if you enjoy the content. And definitely stay tuned. There's gonna be much more to come. Got any requests? Let me know.
Gotcha. Before we go, one final question, just content creator to content creator.
Throw it out.
Do you have any tips or advice you can give somebody who's interested in gaming, or an adult that still games and think it's kind of childish, or just someone who wants to break down and get into the field of content creation? Any advice or tips you can offer anybody?
Sure. So I'll mention two things. So the first thing is just in regard to just being comfortable with yourself, right? So YouTube, and we
That's
touched
a
on
big
this
thing.
earlier. I don't know if you recorded this part, but YouTube and gaming is something where you just gotta be confident in yourself, and you gotta embrace who you are. I am a gamer at heart. That's not all my identity is, but
Right.
that's a big part of who I am. I'm gonna be playing games until my last day on Earth. Like maybe on the last day,
Right.
I might die with a controller in my hand. Who knows? But I love gaming. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be doing it or you're too old for it or whatever. Like, man, them people is retarded. Okay. Do you, if you enjoy it, just stay healthy with it and make sure that you're taking care of yourself and your life as well. Don't just be like, oh well, I'm a gamer. Roshad said it's okay to game, so I'm gonna just game until 3 o'clock in the morning every day, not get no sleep, no exercise, not talk to anybody, just stay locked up. If that's really what makes you happy, I guess, but I wouldn't recommend it. So just embrace who you are. If you like gaming, if you like collecting, whatever, just do you and don't let nobody tell you any different or shame you or anything like that. Like if anybody does, they don't deserve to be in your life, cut them out. Simple as that. Don't matter if it's close friends, family, girlfriend, anybody. Cut them out because you're not going to be happy at the end of the day if you're trying to change to suit what everybody wants you to be instead of trying to cater more towards what makes you happy as an individual. You need more people who are going to embrace you for you. The second thing is for any type of content creation, there's multiple ways you can go about doing it. I'm telling you what I'm doing is focus on the thing that I enjoy, which is gaming. So I did a lot of different things on my YouTube channel. Check it out. You'll see just all kinds of stuff on there.
Mhm.
There's like skits, there's like game reviews, there's like YouTube shorts, and um, there's random like news and commentary stuff, and then you got gameplays and edited gameplays, live stream gameplays, and just all sorts of stuff, right? So I'm primarily, doing like a lot of gameplay stuff right now because that's what I enjoy, actually gaming and playing, right? Find something that you enjoy and try to make something out of what you enjoy. As a content creator, that's when you're gonna do your best. There's gonna be less work. So when there's days where things get tough, or they're just you're just challenged, you're tired because maybe you work a lot, maybe it's just a lot going on in your life. You want to still have that mental energy
Right.
to
That's
keep
important.
going.
That's
Exactly.
important.
That's for me. That's like, I mean, mentality is everything. That's one of the most important things, maybe the most important thing over talent. Over like looks and charisma, over whatever that what all these things drive viewership and retention and all this stuff. But your mentality is a humongous thing, and you definitely got to be ready to embrace whatever it is that you enjoy. If you like music, start a music channel. If you like gaming,
Right.
start a gaming channel. You like fitness, start a fitness channel. And if those don't work for some reason, do something that's gonna do something with the goal to get into that. Like some people do news and stuff, and then they get real successful, and they like kind of shift their channel around, and all of a sudden they're doing the thing that they really wanted to do. So whatever it takes, keep just set your goal, keep your eye on the prize, and try to stay true to yourself. Is that's for me, that's the most important thing.
I absolutely 1000% agree to that. That was some really good advice. But thank you again for finally coming on the show.
Of course, man. Of course.
I'm glad to have you on. I'll be happy to do future collabs with you. For everybody else, this has been BLERDKAST. You can find me on YouTube or Blerdography, and you can find me everywhere on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Spotify. You can listen to our BLERDKAST on Spotify, Anchor, not Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Audible, everywhere there's podcasts, everywhere. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you haven't already, but only if you found this video entertaining. And let me know, what are your top 3 favorite games of all time to play, for those of you who game out there. But until next time, this has been BLERDKAST, and I'm out.